Hey, Tim Sykes here. I hope you're having a good Monday or a better Monday than I am. Yesterday I had kind of a scratchy voice. Today I'm not feeling so great. So yeah, I am not trading. I don't like trading when I'm sick. I don't like trading when I don't feel good. I'm taking naps throughout the day. I've been traveling a lot. I've been trading at crazy hours. So it's not a complete shock. Eventually it kind of wears on you. But at the same time, I'm proud that my video lesson over the weekend said IFON would probably have its first red day. Here it is, down nearly 18% today. Perfect first red day. I know some of you guys caught it short, so congrats to you. This just goes to show you, guess what? It's very tough for a penny stock to have 3 green days in a row. You can't just totally forget the past. You can't forget odds. Every now and then, a play won't fit this mold to the exact specifications, but at the same time, if you learn from the past, you learn that the patterns repeat more or less the same. And that's why a lot of you guys nailed IFON. I didn't trade it, and you want to blame my health, you want to blame the fact that it dropped so quickly, I don't care. Whatever the point is, whatever the reason, I did not trade it. I know a lot of you guys miss trades, and I see you like in the chat room, and you get angry, and you're like, I was there, I saw it, I missed it, I'm so angry. Or, a play doesn't do exactly what you want, you cut losses, and then the play does do exactly what you want. You're like, I'm so angry. Eventually, you'll come to a point in your career, hopefully, that you'll find peace. And you don't get angry if you miss a play. You don't get excited if you make a play. You learn from every single play, win, lose, or no play at all. The fact that we witnessed IFON dropping on this first red day together, that's a win. Okay, even though I didn't personally make any money on it, I called it, and a lot of my students profited. And most importantly, the pattern that I was trying to teach you guys was confirmed. So you either make money from a trade or you learn from it. You don't necessarily have to feel bad if you miss a trade. If you have a busy schedule, you might miss a trade every now and then. If the stock is a little choppy, you might miss a trade every now and then. It's okay. None of us are going to be perfect. So I want some of you guys to not be so hard on yourselves if you miss a trade or if you take a small loss. Be angry at yourself if you ignore the rules. If you say, hey, I think IFON is going to be amazing. I don't care what Sykes says. I don't care what history says. And you go against the odds. And then even if you're right that one time, even if you do make money, playing against the odds over and over and over again is not a winning strategy. Okay, just ask most people who go to Vegas, most people who, day trade. The odds suggest when you don't have rules, when you don't have the odds in your favor, the odds suggests that you are going to be one of the many losers. And if you look at the biggest winners, who wins the biggest at Vegas? It's the casinos, okay, because they have the odds on their side in every game. There might be a few lucky few people who do well. That's cool, if you're really good at math or if you're lucky. Okay, but by and large, the casinos are the biggest winners in Vegas. Who are the biggest winners in the day trading industry? It's the brokers. Because while the brokers don't necessarily make that much on commissions, they make money every single time. Okay? That is the way to making big, consistent money, when the odds are on your side. Brokers have no risk. The only problem with brokers is if you don't have enough customers, or if, the market's slow and there's not a lot of trades, and then your brokers aren't spending money on the commissions. But by and large, being a broker, by and large, being a casino, you win over time. You make consistent money. Those of you who want to try to beat the odds, you have to learn to play by the odds. You have to learn what are high odds setups. This is a high odds setup. Okay? So while I missed it, I know this setup very well. I missed it this time. Next time, who's to say what's going to happen? And hopefully, if you miss this one, same kind of thing. It's all about being better prepared for the next time. You can't cry about it. You can't, you can, but you shouldn't cry about it. You shouldn't whine about it. You should say, okay, missed this one. Let's wait for the next one, because this pattern will happen again. That's the beauty of the stock market. That's the beauty of this strategy. These things happen again and 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 again. So you get my point, okay? So this is not the last time that IFON, this kind of a 2-day spike, and then first red day is going to happen. And frankly, this one, okay, it's dropped 20%, but it's really only like 13 cents a share. So it's very difficult to short stocks this low. I would have preferred this go from, let's say $5 to $10 and then back down to $6 per share. That's my kind of a play. So this is, again, good to learn from, but it's not like the ultimate play. Here is the ultimate play today, MTBC. Remember I said first red day usually signifies that this is the end. But every now and then the pattern can invert. This is why you can't just memorize patterns and expect to do well. Because every now and then enough shorts say, hey, first red day, let me short. And a lot of people were shorting this over the weekend, and I wasn't too enthusiastic. If you remember Friday afternoon in the chat room, I left commentary saying, this is fading, but I'm still scared of like it potentially morning spiking. And a lot of people were like, Tim, but it's first red day. You always short first red day. I'm scared when every single person is short. I'm scared when this company, issues press releases over and over again. This is not like a play that just has one press release. They've been issuing press releases every day. So they're in on this pump, okay? It wouldn't surprise me if they're going to do a financing. The stock is trading at like $2.50. They'll probably do a financing at like $1.50. And it wouldn't surprise me if that happens, because you don't just issue 4 press releases in a row out of the blue for no reason. It's not like you're the most amazing company all of a sudden. It's because you have an ulterior motive. And I will tell you that this company will do something to knock down their stock price, because they never last, okay? So while this one might have caught shorts off guard, look at their past history. This is not a company that's like a breakthrough company. That said, you can't underestimate it, because I don't know if they're going to have a press release tomorrow. I don't know how many shorts are actually squeezed. Again, a lot of these shorts are very aggressive. You can see on social media. Use the Stocks to Trade Twitter tool. I'm going to link that video in this one too. I'm going to post the video right under this on Profitly, so you can see exactly how to use the scanner on Stocks to Trade, and you can specifically start to see what people are saying on social media, specifically Twitter, and you can, basically filter out high-priced stocks and high-float stocks. And so you can see that there are a lot of shorts who are too over-aggressive, in my opinion, these gunslingers, and they are getting squeezed. That's why this stock is up. And they're afraid of what this company might announce, tomorrow morning. So props to a lot of you guys who were long. Sorry, I'm so out of it. But just a few tweets. Look at this guy, Misfits. Michael, awesome job, in at 155, out at 275. That's a profit of over $3,000. Johnny, in at 150, out at 255, profit of $300. and he used my prepare method from my trader checklist guide. So awesome job, Johnny. Here's made to trade, got in at 205, out at 250. I mean, this is a good trade, okay? So you can start to be prepared, and you can start to say, wait a minute, like every now and then the pattern can invert when enough shorts get caught. Here's Bio making 800. Sebastian is using paper trading on stocks to trade to buy. Arky made some good trades. I don't know. A lot of you guys are tweeting me. It's awesome. But I don't want you thinking that the first red day means that this definitely is going to drop. You know, anytime you start using the words never or definitely, it's very dangerous because you start, you know, having blind spots, and your narrow-mindedness will cost you. So always be open to the fact that the stock might just break out of the odds. And every now and then you get these kinds of plays. And I'm glad that a lot of you guys saw this and you adapted. I've been looking to short this. I underestimated it, but I personally didn't short it because I was scared. I specifically said during the market open, right near the market open, I was saying how this one, you know, right around here, it's hanging around the 148 level, 150, and I was like, maybe we'll get a good spike to short into. And sure enough, we did get a good spike, but once it started going up so much, I'm scared of it, okay? I know that you could have, you know, made money if you shorted the exact top and the 260s or 280s and you covered in the 220s or 230s on the retrace. But even right now, you know, it's pretty much back to the highs. So this would not have been, you know, that great or that easy of a short. Also, there's no shares to short that I can find. So it made it very easy. There were shares to short right in here, but this turned out to be a trap. So just because a stock has a first red day does not mean that it's necessarily going to be the end, especially with these low price stocks. You know, IFON, it's, wow, now it's down 21%. You know, we're talking about a 60-cent stock. Before this, we're talking about a $1.50 stock. You know, these kinds of plays, when they go up to like $3 or $4 or $5 or $7 a share, they're a lot more reliable. When you're shorting these stocks at 50 cents, $1, or $1.50, and there's not much moving in the overall markets, these kinds of plays have a tendency to just go a little bit longer because, you know, traders need something to trade. And there's a lot of degenerates, and they chase anything, and they buy anything. And you also have to remember that a lot of people are short this. A lot of big shorts have been squeezed, and, you know, that's the risk. That's the risk of being very narrow-minded. And a lot of short sellers, I used to be one, so I know how they think. And a lot of short sellers are going to be like, this company has no fundamentals. It shouldn't go up. It's manipulation. This is wrong. No, what's wrong is you guys being such fucking narrow-minded fools thinking that every stock has to drop and not respecting the power of a potential squeeze. So anybody who loses, learn from it. Okay, don't necessarily be so over-aggressive next time. Don't think that first red day is the end-all, be-all on plays like this, especially when the company has demonstrated issuing press releases, whether they're full of crap or not, every single day. The company is in on it, okay? When you see multiple press releases, you know that it's not random. You know that the company is doing something. My guess is they'll likely have another press release tomorrow, or maybe their lawyers are getting involved right now saying, hey, 4 press releases in a row is a little much. Maybe pull back so we don't get investigated by the SEC. I don't know what's happening. All I know is that I've learned to respect the power of these low-price stocks, especially when they break through such a highly reliable pattern of shorting the first red day. So I respect the past. And if you respect the past, you'll learn from it. You'll learn from a low odds pattern like MTBC, and you'll learn from a high odds pattern like IFON. You'll learn from both, and you'll adapt. So if you understand the gist of this video lesson, leave a comment with the words, 3 words, I will adapt. And you learn from this. So in the comments, leave those 3 words, I will adapt, and learn from these plays, whether you made money, whether you didn't, if you missed them, if you're just watching, if you're paper trading. We're all learning here. And every single day, I want you to learn a little something. It doesn't matter if you're sick as shit. It doesn't matter if you're healthy. It doesn't matter if you're traveling. You will see how education snowballs over a few months and certainly over a few years, especially if you put in every single day. So hopefully you like this video lesson. I'm going to go take a nap. Goodbye.